Welcome to another episode of HCP Visits. Here's your host, Woody Watts.
This is Woody Watts with Hill City Paranormal. Recently, I did a guest appearance on the Mike Show here on a local radio station in Lynchburg, 93.7 KHF, and we talked about all things Hill City Paranormal. And we had a great time, and we shared our haunted hotline number and some stories. So here are both segments for you to hear.
93.7 KHF, The Mike Show, 808. Thanks to Josh for sending me this link. Now, Morgan Freeman narrates Grandma Sandy.
This is Grandma Sandy. She's a TikToker.
You know, I've seen this done a couple of times on a couple of different videos, and I'm not quite sure this is real, and I just want to see what's up.
Well, as many of you already know, she's about to find out it is indeed very, very real. Woo, indeed. You can feel the tension mounting. And as the great Tony Romo would say, here we go, Jim. And that's when Grandma Sandy realized what it would be like to work in the adult entertainment industry. Grandma Sandy, legend.
Oh, my. Thank you, Grandma Sandy. It is The Mike Show. 8:09, 9 minutes after 8 o'clock.
Man, if that's not Morgan, that guy's spot on, huh?
Well, of course it's Morgan Freeman.
Well, what was I even saying?
Bill Bodine joining us. Woody Watts, right over there. Watts Creative and Hill City Paranormal. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right. When did you first start the endeavor, I guess, to catalog or document or to find Bigfoot, to find spooky things in the attic?
Yeah.
When did that all come about?
Officially, I would say about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Wait a second, we have to change up the music here. I think I've got something better
It's got like
than
a
this.
Pulp Fiction feel to
Yeah,
it.
here we go. Here we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah, much better.
There we go.
Okay. So, when was it? When did you...
Officially, about 2 years ago, we put a name to it.
Yeah.
Now, we've been doing investigations, exploring for years, and even put Bigfoot, UFOs, aliens in our commercials. So our love for it has been forever.
Yeah.
But, as an official, we love this.
Yeah.
Let's document it. Let's make a show. Let's do a podcast.
Yeah.
And we need a name so people don't think that we're doing commercials all the time.
Yeah.
Or we're poking fun. Yeah. So I'd say about a year and a half, 2 years.
So are they union? When you have them in your commercials, do you have to pay them scale?
Yeah. They get royalty. He gets a check sent out to the woods every month.
Yeah.
made out to paid to the order of Bigfoot. Address the Woods.
He's real nice, by the way. Real nice guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in reality, you actually have a Bigfoot cast.
I do.
From what is it? Is it plaster?
It's plaster and joint compound.
Okay.
And we were in Littleton, North Carolina, in the state park.
Yeah.
And we were exploring with a well-known Bigfoot expert.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, my wife, she yells we were all exploring, and she found a footprint. And we measured it, and it was 20 inches long.
Wow.
And 6 inches wide.
That's almost the size of my feet.
Really?
But it was a legitimate footprint. You go into the woods not knowing what you're going to find. But, we actually found a Bigfoot. And the cast is... In the forest, it's one thing, but when you bring it out and you see the cast and it's as wide as this table right here, it's pretty intense.
Did it look sort of humanoid? I mean, or ape-like?
Yeah, it had the hill indentation is what we found first.
Okay.
We saw the hill, then you could make out the toes, and then we actually found another footprint where we had stumbled upon a part of the forest where trees were snapped into and twisted.
Wow.
And that's what kind of alerted us.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, she's like, hey, I think I found a print.
That's
and
amazing.
Then, hey, I found another print.
Wow. Okay, so we got that. There were a bunch of folks on Facebook, and I'm trying to pull that up right now. I think I posted or commented or something. I'm trying to see. Oh, here we go. So this was last night, and a lot of folks were freaking out about they saw UFOs. And let me see. This was about 11 hours ago, so whatever time that was. There's a very straight line of UFOs flying over us, very equal distance apart, very freaky, and they keep coming. Go outside and look up.
Would have been about 9 o'clock last night.
So and then people started commenting and saying, "Oh my God, I see them!" Blah 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 blah. And then somebody commented that it was Starlink. It was the communication satellites that are up there. Elon Musk's Starlink.
That's what they want us to believe, though. See, we're in quarantine, so the aliens can survey the planet right now.
Okay, if you want to talk aliens, I actually have a theory. If you'd like me to share.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, here's my theory. When the aliens fly by Earth, they lock their doors and roll up the windows.
Sounds about right.
That seems smart. You know, David Byrne from Talking Heads once said that the aliens will come visit us when they can make money by doing so.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a direct David Byrne quote.
And speaking of quarantine, maybe we're in quarantine.
Yeah.
Aliens are smart, okay? And if humans can pass, viruses on to other humans to the point where we have to lock down our world, we literally have to stay in place or lock down our country. Aliens are smart. They're not going to be like Christopher Columbus, sailing across the ocean blue and bringing a whole bunch of smallpox to the indigenous peoples.
That's right.
Right? Yeah. They're probably going to quarantine our planet and study us and maybe even learn all our viruses.
Yeah.
Maybe even learn, what could infect them, what they have could infect us, and try and figure it out before they actually make contact.
That's a good theory.
It's a good theory.
I like it.
I have way too much time on my hands.
True.
Way too much time on my hands when I really should be concentrating on other things. So, Woody, you have a podcast now about Hill City Paranormal. How many calls? You have the hotline. You have the haunted hotline.
We set up this haunted hotline, and we have had, especially since the quarantine, we've had large number of calls come in lately just because I believe people are inside and they're starting to see they're home longer than they usually are.
Yeah.
So they'll call this number. It's a 24/7 recorded line. No one picks up.
Okay.
You leave your spooky story.
Nobody's going to laugh at you.
No one's going to laugh at you.
No.
This is a judgment-free zone, and that's why that number exists. But it's with the stories we're getting, they're pretty intense.
Woody,
right now.
have you ever talked to Mike down at Avoca in Alta Vista?
No, I have
Do you
not.
know about Avoca?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Yeah, well, Mike was in the office about a week ago, and he was telling us some stories. That's an old house, of course, a lot of history. And he heard a clatter coming from downstairs. And when he went down, two of the portraits had come off the wall, were across the room, but side by side in the same manner that they had been on the wall. And he's had multiple experiences, and other people have as well. You should talk to him sometime.
I will. This area is full of history. Like every building is historic. So it's like something, you see these stories, and not just from Lynchburg, but I mean, we get calls across the United States, but Lynchburg, I mean, every street you go down, there's something historic. So there's a story with everything.
They used to do the ghost tours downtown.
Yeah.
Those were great.
Yeah.
Where I used to live, when Tab and I first got together, I lived in a building that had been converted into lofts. But prior to that, it was one of the Civil War rehab hospitals where I'm sure a lot of people had died in. And then after that, it was a warehouse that was converted into a Civil War. It was a factory, then a warehouse, then a Civil War hospital, then factory, warehouse, whatever. And Tab had a spooky experience that I'll tell you about, and I had to move because she said, "I'm never staying over again."
That's it.
Yeah. So I had to move.
It only takes one.
And it was freaky enough, and I've had some experiences too in other places. And I'm not going to bore you with my stories because we want to hear about all of yours and the spookiest stuff that you guys have investigated so far. Where can people reach you? What is the haunted hotline, and where can folks call?
All right, the haunted hotline is 434-381-0242.
Okay.
And again, that's a recorded line. You can call in the middle of the night, right after something happened. Call, leave that message, and we'll go through it. And sometimes we'll reach out after the fact and want to interview you, or if you don't want to be contacted, that is totally fine too.
Very, very spooky stuff, and it doesn't have to be Halloween to talk about this.
No,
everybody waits. All these shows wait until right around Halloween to talk about the spooky stuff. But you know what? We've got a lot of crazy going on in the world. We've got a lot of stuff. Why not divert your attention a little bit and give you something better to focus on?
Spookiness knows no season. Let's face it. It can happen anytime.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Sure. It works for those tiger people. Everybody's talking about that show. So let's why don't we? Or the Liger King?
That's
Did
great.
You see that?
I saw that. That was hilarious.
But let's talk about something. Let's get our mind off this crap and really have fun with this. If you want to call the haunted hotline, if you have seen something, they're ready to believe you. What is the number again, Woody?
434-381-0242.
All right. When we come back, we're going to talk about maybe some of the spookiest stuff that you've witnessed or have heard about or have maybe even documented. We want to know that. What have you documented? And then I'll tell you our spooky story, Tab's spooky story, and the reason I had to move from this very, very spooky place. That's all coming up. 8:20, 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. It's The Mike Show. We've got 5 random facts on the way. We'll also check in with Sally Russell. She is in the Weather Center. We will get with her after we get a news update from Mr. Garrison.
93.7 KHF.
Vintage KHF. It is the church under the Milky Way. By the way, there's a reason that I played that right after Post Malone Circles. I don't know if the man sampled it or what, but they sound very, very similar. 8:32, it's The Mike Show. Let's get a little bit more smarter, shall we?
And now it's time for 5 random
facts.
Yep, that time of the morning we cram your head full of useless information, and you can just tell it back wherever the heck you happen to be. You could be calling the haunted hotline. And you could be retelling a spooky story. But why not this? Call the haunted hotline and say any of these 5 random facts back.
Yes.
I don't know.
We'll welcome any message.
Any message whatsoever. Here we go. 5 random facts. Number 1. After George Washington's presidency was over, he opened a whiskey distillery here in Virginia, and it quickly became the biggest one in the country. After he died, he left it to his nephew, and it wound up burning down. Number 2. See, lesson be taught there, lesson be learned. Don't leave anything to your nephew.
Either that or he chopped it down. We're not sure.
Number 2. Well, he could have chewed it with his wooden teeth. I don't know. Anyway. Number 2. There were Chryslers that had built-in record players from 1956 to 1958. Do you remember the movie, The Green Hornet?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And the car that was in that. I believe that was one.
Imagine hitting a bump, though. You're playing the vinyl.
You'd ruin all your records, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd never get through a song.
I don't know. It had something in it. Okay, the Green Hornet with Seth Rogen.
Yes.
The vehicle. What was the vehicle in the Green Hornet? Car. All right, let me Google this. It was a Chrysler Imperial Crown. And Cato had outfitted it with all kinds of really, really cool stuff, and I just assumed that Cato outfitted it with the record player.
Yeah,
I thought it was just part of the movie.
Oh, it was a built-in feature.
Yeah, it was a built-in feature,
wow.
according to this.
That is bizarre.
Yeah,
they malfunctioned so often. The Chrysler dropped them after a few years.
Wait, the Chrysler did or the record player did?
the record player.
Both, actually.
Well, 1956 to 1958. But that car was absolutely stunning.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
Chrysler Imperial Crown. I want one now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a car buff.
People are going to be crazy. Now they're going to look for the vinyl radio insert.
The record player for your car. We should. Okay. All right.
How would you dampen that?
I've got a monumental idea. We team up with Speaker Tree, and we create a turntable.
Yes.
That forget MP3s and Bluetooth. We just get a record player for your
Where the
car.
pure audio is.
Oh, it really is.
Yeah.
Number 3. 61.2% of Americans with an M who fought in World War II were drafted. 61.2% drafted. Number 4, broccoli has almost twice as much vitamin C as oranges. I knew that. I love broccoli.
I did not know that, Ed.
No.
It's wild, wacky stuff. No, it is broccoli and cauliflower.
Cauliflower, huh? Cauliflower's not even green. That's amazing.
It's not green, but it's got almost twice as much vitamin C as well. Number 5, astronauts can vote from space. And not by absentee ballot. They vote on a computer that sends an encrypted message to the county clerk where they live. And those are your 5 random facts.
Excellent.
It's 8:36. So Woody Watts is joining us. Bill Bodine is joining us as well. Bill, now how has this stay-at-home order affected you? You're also a guest host radio personality,
and radios are essential. It's an essential business.
Yes, we are.
So we're
most
legit
definitely
here.
Yeah, we are legit. Woody Watts owns a company called Watts Creative Studios, and it's a media company.
Yes.
So everybody in media,
all essential.
Yep. You were out covering the Bedford County press conference.
Yes, yesterday.
Yesterday. So Woody is legit. Give you a dinger.
Thank you.
Bill Bodine is legit. And I most certainly am legit.
The most legit.
Well, I've got the letter from the Homeland Security to prove it. So
really?
Yeah. I'm not kidding around. And Tab.
Did that come with the deportation letter you got? I'm just wondering.
Thank you.
Same envelope.
Yeah, it was.
They were saving a stamp.
Yeah.
No. So and Tab loves to point out. She goes, "Are you showing that off? Are you showing that off? You're really special. You're so special that Homeland Security gave you a letter that says that you're essential and you should be allowed to travel wherever you need to go." I said, that wasn't the only letter I got. I also got a fuel letter. I got a letter that says that if they're rationing fuel, I get fuel.
What? Everybody go see Mike. He has a lot of TP and he can give fuel.
He's not showing it off, but it is taped to his chest now.
It is right there.
Yes. Anyway, so Bill, how is you work for a foundation in town,
right?
What is that foundation?
It's the Greater Lynchburg Community Foundation.
Okay.
It's one of the first 30 or so foundations of its kind in the country.
Okay.
There's about 900 now, so we were pretty early on. But we provide grant money to other nonprofits. We gave to 176 different nonprofits last year, about $1.8 million. And we're in the middle right now of our spring grant cycle. We have about 80 applications. And our people are hard at work remotely sorting through those and making sure that we can still do what people depend on us to do.
Dude, now more than ever.
Oh, yeah. We feel it.
Fundraising is such a challenge. Revenue generation is such a challenge. So many businesses, so many people affected, so many layoffs and unemployment at this point. Yes, stimulus checks. Yes,
Small Business Association loans will be helpful.
Yes.
But, and we get asked about emergency funding. But in my view, all 176 of these nonprofits, this is all emergency funding for them.
Yeah,
It just is.
absolutely.
And we're going to fulfill our mission.
And that's a wonderful thing. So where do folks learn more about your foundation, and where can they make a donation if they want to?
Well, the best thing is on our website, which is lynchburgfoundation.org.
Okay.
And it's easy to do. There's self-explanatory tabs, and you can donate online and find out all about us on lynchburgfoundation.org.
All right. And Bill joining us as a guest host this hour. Again, being very, very responsible and legit. Now, we have a sanitation process now in this studio. By the way, for anybody who's like concerned that we're not all doing this remotely and that we are actually gathering in a space, there are less than 10 of us that work here. By the way, there are less than 10 of us in the studio, and we practice distancing, but we practice so many disinfecting rules now. Now I'm a dirty disc jockey, so I am like I don't care, and I touch buttons and things, and we got a list of things that we have to do now after every show and then prior to every guest arrival, which is like, it's amazing, and the proper amount of Lysol spray that we can use on a microphone without damaging the microphone, but still being able to clean it. It's just, oh, good Lord, all the stuff that we've got to do now.
Well, I appreciate it, though.
It's
greatly appreciated.
It's great, and we're grateful that there are those things in place and that you're following that.
Yeah,
so thank you.
And you have to, and just wash your hands. I am constantly. I feel like I'm constantly after my kids, though. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands.
You have to
constantly. And my daughter, my 5-year-old, was she was rolling around on the floor, and she had flip-flops on, and then she grabbed the bottoms of her flip-flops, and she's like pulling her legs up, and she's laughing and giggling, and I went, ah! Immediately it was like this. And I was like, go wash your hands. Don't touch anything. Don't put your hands in your face. Don't put your finger in your nose. No, get it away from your face. Go wash your hands. Go wash your hands. It was like hazmat time. Oh, it was crazy. It's a crazy time.
You're just being a good dad.
Thank you. All right, the Mike Show, 8:42. It is 18 away from 9 o'clock. If you have to be anywhere by 9, like your kitchen.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. I'm sorry.
It's snack time.
It is. It's snack time. It's always snack time now.
Oh man,
I have eaten so much.
Yeah.
I have eaten so much. I'm drinking more. I'm gonna be a fatty fat by the time
I'm
this is all
making
done.
myself take the dog for a walk and making myself do a series of exercises every day because I just have to.
Well,
I mean,
I wish I was like Bill.
well, no, I mean,
legally, here's what you're allowed to do. Bill, you're following the rules. You are allowed to go for walks. You're allowed to get exercise. You're allowed to take the dogs out. You can even, according to our governor, you can play golf.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Golf courses are still open.
Yep, you can hit the links. Now, if you want to go to the beach, however, you either have to be exercising or you have to be fishing. If you just want to congregate and hang out,
which is the opposite of exercising.
if you
that covers both ends of the spectrum, doesn't it? Fishing, exercising.
Yeah, but if you
talk about black and white,
if you want to do anything else at the beach, is verboten. You can't just do that.
The golf courses have rules now where you have to leave the pin in. They don't want you taking the pin out.
Really?
You can't touch it. Okay. They've taken all the rakes out of the sand trap. This is true.
Yeah.
They said just smooth the sand trap with your feet.
Okay.
If you get a bad lie, you can replace it with no penalty. They're just not letting you touch stuff.
Yeah.
They have enough golf carts where everybody can have their own car. No doubling up anymore.
Okay.
It's pretty amazing and kind of cool.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
But you can do all those things, and you can exercise. wise. I saw a meme. It had two photos, and the top photo was a bunch of people, a family sitting on their couch, and they're all looking at their own devices and not interacting and not doing anything, and they're inside the house. And then this was before the pandemic, and then the other picture was everybody out riding bikes and having a good time in the park, and it said after the pandemic.
That is absolutely true.
It really
riding
is.
down Rivermont, you see more families walking. It's great actually.
And I actually, that is actually a good thing that has come out of this, because and I am gonna say this. I need music for this. And Woody, we are gonna get to more spooky time in just a moment.
Well, this kind of is spooky time, the whole quarantine thing. So
it really is. Well,
True.
here, so. Tab, they closed the academy, and for good reason. It's a public gathering space, but she's still working, and she's they're still trucking along. They still have all kinds of programming and things that they're working on for when the place reopens.
And we're going to be doing some remote live events there too. So that'll be nice.
And there's been there's so much stuff that they have in the works, and they still have to keep working like everybody else, but. I'm a creature of habit. I'm a curmudgeon, I guess. And we're videoing, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
It is. Yep.
This is good. So. I usually, whenever I get off the show, when I get done, I wrap things up here in the studio, and I don't have an actual physical office space here in this building. I usually, if I want to go make phone calls or set up appointments or things like that, I go to my house. I have an office in my house. Okay, so 10:30 I wrap up the show, and I walk over to the house, and I get home, and the kids are in school. And Tab's at work, and even the dogs are calm, and they come over and they lay by my feet while I'm in my office doing work, and then the cat jumps up and he's my lumbar support, and it's so peaceful. It's like this, yeah. It's so nice. So the first. The first day when Tab was off of work and the kids were off of school, I get done with the show, I wrap up, and I walk over to the house, and I come to the front door, and I open up the front door, and it is this. Yeah, it's just the dogs are chasing the kids. The kids are running in circles. The dogs are and they're chasing the cat's even getting into it and chasing the dogs around. And then I look over and I look into my office, and Tab is sitting at my desk. And I am just like.
Did you have noise-canceling headphones on?
No, I don't know. Nothing. No. So, Tab, she actually was wonderful. We had two desks in the office, and I carried the other desk, the smaller desk, upstairs, and she created a workspace in our bedroom. And so now she's up there working in that space, and I've got my office back that I can work in that space, and so it's so nice. But I mean, for the first day or two or three, it was like this. Yeah. It was craziness. All right, it is the Mike Show. It's the Tuesday edition. Woody Watts joining us. Hill City Paranormal. They're ready to believe you. Some very, very spooky stuff. This is a spooky place.
Yeah,
Lynchburg is a spooky
really is.
place. What are some of the more bizarre or scarier things, or some of the things that people are calling the haunted hotline about?
A lot of calls we get are of shadow people or shadow beings. Yes.
Oh my Lord!
In the hallways,
dude. I've got a story. I've got another story. I've got two spooky
Mike,
stories.
He has
for
to
you.
call the haunted hotline.
No,
he needs to call.
He
the
needs
haunted
to.
hotline.
Well,
Yeah.
but okay.
Stop holding out.
I actually have three spooky stories for you. But even though this is the Mike Show, this is Hill City Paranormal segment. So I've got three stories, but I want you to share the spooky stuff that you're seeing.
Oh, the spooky stuff. Well, we had one call come in
Shadow people. people.
Oh, it is. Yeah, because the guy was looking down the hallway, and it was he got up one night and needed a drink of water. And he walked down the hallway, and he walked past, and he felt like he saw something down the hallway.
Yeah.
He thought, "Oh, I'm still waking up."
Yeah.
So he walks back, and sure enough, a shadow figure in the shape of a human or a person is standing in the hallway looking at him.
Wow.
And he can't see through the shadow person. It's such a dense shadow.
Lord.
And that one, usually when we get a call, I'm editing these late at night. It's dark outside, the lights. I've got the X-Files music playing.
Yeah,
that one gave me chills.
Yeah,
that story was pretty good.
That's goosebump material right there.
That was a good one.
So I'm going to tell you the story that the reason that I had to move. That the Tab just she refused.
Yeah,
she refused to stay over. I was living in one of the apartments, one of the lofts that had been converted, and it was an old building. It was an old warehouse building, and prior to it being a warehouse or a factory or whatever, during the Civil War, it was actually used as a Civil War rehab hospital. There's a lot of that happened right here in Lynchburg.
Yeah.
So we're asleep, and I mean dead asleep. And Tab says to me, she goes, "Stop doing that." And we're laying in bed, and I'm like,
"You get that a lot, though."
I do. I really do. And I said, "I'm not doing anything. What are you talking about?" And she goes, "Stop messing with my feet." Ooh. And I went, okay. And I had a huge bed. I didn't just have a California King. I had a Kong. Yeah. I mean, this thing was enormous. It was just ridiculously
Bigfoot
enormous.
had slept there.
Bigfoot could have slept there.
As a matter of fact.
So I go, honey, I'm all the way over here. I was not messing with your feet. The dogs aren't messing with your feet. They're over here. Nobody's messing with your feet. You're dreaming. And she goes, all right. So she falls back. She falls back to sleep. And she got up, just like sat up straight in bed and was like this. Yeah. Sits up straight in bed. She goes, "I'm out. I'm done." And I went, "What?" She literally was 3 feet down the bed, her legs hanging off the bottom of the bed. She said that it felt like somebody grabbed her by her ankles
and pulled her
off the bed.
Ooh.
Wow.
So, yeah, that would make me...
no slant to our floor, nothing. And she literally was 3 feet down with a blanket over top her head. And she sat up straight and pulled the covers off of me, just freaking out. And she was like, "I'm done. I'm out. I'm
never packing that moment.
Staying here again."
Wow.
So I literally had to move.
Now, see, that is in the same vein as the stone tape theory we keep hearing about. People call and that energy. Like you said, a place that has used to be a hospital, right? That some of the energy is still there. Like the energy doesn't disappear;
I believe
just kind of dissipates.
Yeah.
So that basically the walls, environment, the earth you stand on is basically a tape recorder, and it's playing back the energy that was once there. So
that and that energy could even manifest itself, or do you think that was a specter or a poltergeist or something that was just messing around?
I hope it wasn't a shadow person. They are even more terrifying.
I've lived in a house that had shadow people. Mm-hmm. I even witnessed shadow people. By the way, in that same building, there's a restaurant adjacent to it. Oh. And late at night, when I first moved here, I was by myself and would frequent this restaurant. And we've seen and heard some spooky things down there. And little did we know, it was adjacent to that building, and there were things that were going on there. But I've lived in a house that we had shadow people. Yeah. That you'd look down the hall, and I'd wake up and there would be some figure standing at the top of the steps, and then it would disappear.
See, that's chills.
Yeah.
See, that'll give me chills while I'm editing it late at night.
Yeah.
Had a radio station location, the same deal, and I don't know if it was the same shadow person. Maybe it was me.
Maybe
it was
shadow.
me. Maybe it was me. From beyond the grave, coming back and checking in on myself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, I gotta go.
Time to move. Time to pack.
You're freaking me out. Both of you.
Now we do have an Instagram follower that messages us every couple of weeks. She will not move. She communicates with the spirits in her house.
Wow.
But she will send videos of objects that put off energy, and so she'll send a video of like a doll that she talks to the doll, and then she'll send like it has a spike in the EMF, and I'm like, oh, okay, yep, time to go. Let me go to the other calls. Yeah, so we get them all though. We get alien abductions, we get Bigfoot stories. I mean, there have been so many Bigfoot sightings that you'd be surprised around here.
So Woody, you have methods, a la Ghostbusters, of measuring paranormal activity.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you measure that stuff?
Well, all right. So our main thing is we want to capture evidence of what the person experienced. Okay, we really don't rely on a method to go in and stir up stuff or to communicate or anything like that. If someone calls us and like, I hear the door slamming late at night, I hear this, then we set up video cameras, night vision, stuff like that. We hope to capture that and hopefully explain it for them, so that they can live a little bit more comfortably. Like Mike said, most people want to move right away.
Yeah,
but we really rely on video evidence for one, and I do have an EMF reader, so that if there's like
tell us what EMF means for our listeners.
Electric magnetic field. It's a little tester, so it's like if there's a breaker box in the wall, like a big building like this, just walk past it, and you'll feel a little dizzy because of the electricity. And some people late at night, they'll say, I feel weird when I wake up. I feel like I've been in another universe. And well, if you test it, they might be right below a breaker box in an apartment building. So, but mainly video evidence. That's a bunch of night vision cameras. We have stocked up on those. That's our main main piece of equipment, our go-to. Yeah. Because if you don't have evidence, it's
right. Now, are they like motion detector kind of things?
They are. We have trail cams for Bigfoot that we put out. We have yet to find a clear photo of Bigfoot. We're working on it, though. We're working on it.
Yeah.
But motion-activated night vision, that's what we rely on.
That's where
it's at.
Yeah.
So you don't have Bigfoot coming up and taking selfies?
Not yet. He might during this, though.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? It is 8:56, 4 minutes away from 9 o'clock. We are talking with Woody Watts from Hill City Paranormal. And Woody, where do folks call, and what is the haunted hotline, and where can they leave their message?
You can call at 434-381-0242. And if you want to send us a message, or if you have evidence, visit our website, hillcityparanormal.com. I have a incident report. You can fill that out, send us some evidence, and we can hopefully help you. Now, we want to help you. We don't want you moving. We don't want everybody packing and leaving yet.
Well, and it might make people feel better to have some explanation, or to let them know that they're not crazy or whatever it is. That's good.
And sharing their stories really helps.
Sure.
All right. So it's more investigating. It's not debunking or making them feel dumb or anything like that.
Not at all.
It's the weird things happen.
Yep.
And you know that, and we know that, and if you witness things, you want some reassurance of either one, this is unexplained and it's paranormal, or two, this is something that can be explained.
Exactly.
Through equipment, and we've detected this, and this might be the cause of your problem.
We're right there with you. We believe you. We're not going to make fun of you. We don't judge. We want to hear your stories.
Woody, have you ever been able to say to someone, "Back off, man, I'm a scientist"? I'd have to say
I'm
that.
Waiting for the day. I cannot wait.
That's what I
want. It is the Tuesday edition, 8:58, 2 minutes away from 9 o'clock. We got 50 right now. It's only going to be about 55 today. We do have some rain in the forecast. We will touch base with Sally Russell. She is over in the Weather Center next.
93.7 KHF.
Be sure to check out our website at hillcityparanormal.com. And thank you for listening.